Holy shit, I cannot believe we are live. We are live. Let me just sort the microphone volume because it is a little bit loud. Just let me know if you can hear us in the chat because we have been having some issues. Some bloody great big issues. We've somehow managed to get it going. Yeah, we're live. We are live. 7 minutes to go in qualifying. Please, if you're in the chat, let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can see the game audio because we have been having some technical issues right from the start of the stream. Well, for the last hour we've been having issues. Let's go on board with PW Jones. Let's get some graphics on the board. There will be a complete lobby reset after this. We will be creating a new lobby. So these drivers will not be competing in this lobby. This is so I can get the grid order and take control of the lobby, essentially, so people can get in. Julian Prince up to third after he's completed his flying lap. Abdullah Balak and Jeremy both retired early on in the session. Let me just turn down my microphone a slight bit. Let's go with that. Hopefully that is better. Now, just let me know if that is any good. If not, I can go with that. That's no problem. For now, we'll go with this. Yeah, Jeremy, apologies for the delays. We've been having nothing but issues for the past hour, as I'm sure you're aware. We've got currently on track. We've got Microwave coming down towards sector 1. He's a second down, so he's obviously just completed his first banker lap. There will be a complete lobby reset after this. Everyone will retire in the first race, but we will be leaving that lobby. We'll be creating a new lobby from scratch. So to all the drivers who are listening in, they will have to retire and leave the session. But apart from that, we have 15 drivers. We had a lot of people missing. However, the reserves have come in a bit clutch. We've got Big Man Henry, all the way from Australia. Big Man Rai, sorry. Who is up at, I think it's 6:30 or 7 o'clock over there, so absolute props to him. Game audio a bit loud. Okay, let me... Is that in comparison to my microphone? If so, I can just... Let me just turn it down slightly. There we go. Hopefully that's a little bit better. There we go. We got the McLaren of Bielkowski on track right now. There we go. Everybody in the pit lane. Let's go. Right, so I'm just hopefully reading your comments. Okay, so it looks like the volumes are a little bit better. So we're down to the final 3 minutes. We've got Red Devil currently on pole position. And he has got a 129.9. Banana and championship contender, 22.223. Big Man Right in third with a 22.2. Ludic back up there again after last week. In fact, we've got Ludic. He is on an outlap. So is Alfie, though. Let's go to Alfie because he is the one who's closest to the start. And yeah, he's probably watching the stream because he's giving us a little bit of a wave, a little bit of a jiggle there in the kick sauber. Yeah, not really sure much to say. I'm used to being a little bit more prepared than this because normally things are a bit more plain sailing. But for now, it is what it is. Not much we can do about it. As he comes down towards turn 1. And you'll like that in 4th gear. A little bit of scruffy on the exit there as he comes through turn 2, 3, and down past turn 4. Heading towards turn 5, the iconic hairpin where Verstappen made his pass on Hamilton in 21. And Alfie looking a bit neat here. Of course, collisions are turned off. So no DRS, no slipstream games. Drivers are basically told to get out of the way of people on a flying lap. Let's see what Alfie can do. Definitely a front row contender if he nails his lap. And yeah, let's see, because he is the first one on the track going to complete his last flying lap. He's currently half a second, well, 4 attempts, basically half a second up. So he's provisionally around a P4 at the minute. Can he improve enough to get into provisional pole position? Banana's just crossed the line now, so he's definitely got time to improve. Let's see what Alfie can do through Sector 3. He looked like he went off a little bit off track there, but he didn't, so good job to win. For now, though, let's see what the kick sauber can do. Can he get it on the front row? No, nowhere near. In fact, well down there. Let's go on board with the Mercedes driver of Axim, who's currently a couple attempts down. New driver to Off the Line Racing. Actually, there's a few that are new. There is, let's just go through them. There's Bialowski, Perro, Axim, Ryan Bannock for the first time races, Ryan B and Microwave, all for the first time race tonight. Ludic's had a moment on track coming through the chicane. And coming up to the second split, it's Axim in the Mercedes. And he's just about half a tenth up. Can he improve even more? The final sector is where all the time will be. PW Jones is down in P10. He'll be looking to improve as well in the Williams. Oh, and Axim's lost it. Axim's lost it. Let's go on board with PW Jones as he's just about to cross. In fact, he does improve, but he just goes... he stays in P10. Bialowski is improving it by a couple of attempts. And this looks like a nice little improvement as Red Devil continues his fine form here in Off the Line Racing. And yeah, a 21.8. Banana improves with a 21.9. Bialowski improves with a 22.0. Big Man Right does not improve. And that will be all she writ. Oh. So just a reminder that all the drivers... What do you mean? Wait, what do you mean, Brian? Let me know. There's going to be a new... Yeah, there's going to be a new... there's going to be a new lobby due to issues within the lobby. Can I... Any chance? Who got last? Who was the last driver? It was Abdul. Okay, so there's going to be a lobby reset. Yeah, it's just a game of the glitch. So you can leave this lobby because we will not be continuing in this lobby. There will be a complete new lobby. For now, though, we're going to just play you a little bit of music just while we reset everything and get everyone back in. So enjoy the music, and we'll be back in a few short minutes. Well, we are back. Yeah, we are back. We are about to go into the race. Yeah, I say once more, apologies for the delays tonight. It's set us back about maybe 10 minutes due to problems with PCs and Streamlabs. However, the drivers are here, 15 of them. They are put back into the order. And we are ready to rock and roll. For 29 laps. Historically, on this game, it is a medium to hard or a hard to medium, whichever one you prefer. Just let me know in the comments who you think's going to win. Maybe we can get a poll. I don't know if we've got any moderators, actually. But yeah, this promises to be, although only 15 drivers, there are 15 capable drivers, any of which can win this Grand Prix. Perhaps some are more favoured than others, but yeah, at least for now, these drivers are thinking about what strategy is best and what fuel they want. Is there going to be a safety car? Of course, last night we didn't have a safety car, so that's possibly something they have to factor in as well. And yeah, let's see. Red Devil, P2 in Japan. Banana got the victory that time. This time they're 1 and 2 in qualifying. So let's see what they can do. Ryan Bannock starts, I think it was P8 in the end. Although he only set a time on the medium compound. So he's surely someone who's got pace. I'm not really sure why he set it on the medium. Of course, these drivers have got new tyres. They will, of course, have to apply their setups again, so hopefully nobody's forgotten to do that. Although when you join a lobby, the first thing you tend to do is set up and apply your setup. So let's see what these drivers can do as we just await the five red lights. And these drivers being very respectful of one another, giving each other plenty of time. And there we go. There's the timer. So hopefully this is going to be a classic. If you aren't known around here, get yourself following the channel as we get ready for 29 laps of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We got 5 red lights. It's 5 red lights. And away we go. Red Devil potentially getting a good start there. He's down on the medium compound, and it's Banana as well as Red Devil, Julian Berlowski, all 4 getting through. It's a clean start. Let's go down the grid order as they just about following each other. Nobody has spun. That's great news, and it does look... Let's get some graphics because the tyres will be crucial. The majority have gone... Well, actually, it's pretty much a split, but the majority have just about gone on the mediums. Let's go back on board with P1. He's broken away. He's nearly a second clear. It's the VCAB 1-2. As, yeah, the McLarens are looking a little bit interested here. Hopefully there's no damage. So we've got everybody going the right way. It does look like Pero has had a moment. He's down in P5. He's had a spin, in fact. So I do take it back and maybe I'll give him commentator's curse. But for now... It's pretty clean, minus Pero, but there's a long way to go. A good start for the VCABs, a good start for the McLarens. And Red Devil now 7 tenths ahead of his teammate Julian Prince, who last race had a really, really solid Grand Prix. And Ludic, who I think, did he miss out? I think he just missed out on a podium after his penalty at the end of the race. And it's as you were. It's pretty calm. Not so mad after the console last night. The console last night, as we look on Ryan Bannock, he's on the hard compound, so he's going for the reverse strategy. He wants the advantage later on, and provided he doesn't lose touch with these drivers early on, he has a great opportunity to do that. Let's have a look at P10, because Axim is all over the back of IRT Jeremy. Jeremy, a new driver. Axim, a new driver. And so is Abdullah Burlak. We do know him as Mab in the community. And we do have Alfie having a bit of a moment. He hasn't lost a train, but he is down there in P13 for now. And Banana, it looks like Banana's had a moment there, because he's now down in P10. And he didn't particularly fight Abdullah. So, yeah, issues for the championship contender, especially with is content, you know, Gacha, who's won 2 at the first 4, not racing tonight. Sorry, 2 at the first 3, not racing tonight. So Banana with a huge opportunity to really take control of this championship. And just for a minute, it does look like Ryan Bannock is struggling on those hard tyres. 1.8 behind. But, as we said previously, he will get the advantage later on. And Perro did, in fact, decide to pit, so he may have picked up some damage. There's a real battle going on here between these 4 drivers. And there's a little bit of ghosting going on. Some not ghosting. It does look like the FGE boys is Rai and Alfie have had not the greatest of starts, but they're not too far behind as Banana gets past PW Jones through the hairpin. And in fact, PW Jones is coming back for some action on the inside, and yeah, it did look like a little bit of a moment for PW Jones there. He just went over the curb. I think that's possibly more, on first glance, it looked possibly more on PW Jones than that of Banana, but you know, first looks can be deceiving. Let's go up to P3 because it's 2v2, and then we got another 2 in Ryan and Abdul, so the team constructors are locking fire at the minute. We got Red Devil versus Julian Prince versus Bielkowski and then Ludic. And right now, we've got a little bit of team games going on. So it's all quiet on the Western Front for now. I'm very grateful that we will have our lead comms back next week. You can tell that this is not my usual forte, but it is what it is. Sometimes you gotta go beyond the call of duty. And a really close battle here between the VCABs and the McLarens. Let's have a look a little bit further down. Is Axum. He's just fallen back a little bit from IRT Jeremy. The Red Bulls are actually doing a great job in working together to sort of keep Jeremy behind. Axum's hanging up. Banana just outside that 1 second. He's going to really need to get inside if he wants any sort of result today. In fact, he's boxing. Banana is boxing, so it's an early box. Lap 5. I just wonder... He's had enough. He has had enough. The championship contender will not take advantage of his rival not racing today. So that is news. That is huge news as we move back to the front on board with P3 now. As I don't think he intentionally sent it originally, but maybe he misjudged how early Julian was gonna break there into the chicane and decided, you know what, I'm gonna have to send it, or I'm gonna pick up some damage here and his teammate Ludic just moves up the inside. So maybe they're doing one send and then one holding back, but it is what it is. Jeremy, though, is off. A little bit of a battle with Ryan Bannock, so I wonder if they've had a tussle. Nothing doing right now. He's still there. Axum's looking a little bit more interested than he was a couple of laps ago. Oh, he's on the hard tyre as well. So don't disclose him out yet. As Ryan picks up a penalty. Already lap 6, 2 guys have penalties. We're going to try and get a couple of these drivers as Axum has a huge moment coming on the exit of turn 1. There's Big Man right again. Another penalty. Not having the greatest of times. He's down there in P9 ahead of his teammate. Let's go on board with the leaders though, because second is chasing first, third second, and fourth third. And it's one of those tracks where you don't really want to be in the front, as the McLaren's getting a bit feisty. Not much team play going on here on this lap. As does Julian decide to make a move? Yes, he does. So we have a swap of leader. And it's a new race leader in Julian Prince. Red Devil is sitting in behind for now. Let's go on board with Ryan as he's making a move around the outside of Axum. The side-by-side. Going through the sector 3. Room given. Fair racing. It's aggressive. It's a good move. It's still side-by-side. A little bit of understeer from Axum as he goes over the curb. And Ryan Bannock around the outside. Gets the job done as Abdul goes a bit wide on the exit in sector 3. Picks up a penalty for his troubles. And yeah, for now, as the two McLarens, I tell you what, they're going tap for tit. Well, tap for tat, shall I say. As, yeah, no team orders. It really is an Oscar Piastri, Lando Norris situation over there. I'm not too sure the VCAMs will mind this because it means they're able to get away. All this battling, though, is it means the Red Bulls are ever so slightly closer. I mean, side by side, down to the chicane. The last thing you want to do is take out your teammate. And this is really not smart from the McLaren boys. You can see the VCABs are just minding their own business. Let's get another look at the tyres because this might be a telling factor later on in the race. Okay, so both the VCABs are on mediums, both McLarens on the hard, so it's advantage. It's advantage McLaren at this moment, provided they use this time to be smart about it. Which of the VCABs is going to box first? Because the undercut is surely going to be super huge around here. Ryan B having a battle with his teammate. So there's a lot of teams battling here. Obviously, Banana not having the best of times. His teammate not racing tonight. This is going to give people and teams a chance to close up in both championships. I mean, both Alpines have been super consistent. Tonight not being their night, obviously. And we've got some more action down towards the first chicane. Terrible view. There we go. I tell you what, I think the McLaren would have picked up a warning for that. He's being aggressive. He's gonna make the move stick though. And now you can see as the second McLaren's going to send it as well. Ludic down the inside. Let's go back. Let's go on board with him because he's now got the inside. I tell you what, these intervals are so annoying. They're so wide. I wish EA could make these graphics smaller or editable if you can do it. If anyone does know how you can change it, let me know so I can share that information. And right now, the Red Bull's only 2 seconds away. So all this squabbling is bringing the pack back together. 2.1, we got a spinning Ferrari. That's Ryan B. He's lost it on the exit of turn 1. Yeah, so for now he is down in P10. He's still in the last point. I think PW Jones may have already pit. Let's go to the leaders though, because there's a little bit of squabble. There's P3. Ludic's had a moment. He hasn't lost the DRS, but Red Devil is struggling. Does the Devil have wing damage? Let's go on board. It's not looking too bad. Just looks like those hard tyres are the tyres to be on right now. It pretty much looks like the mediums have had it, even at this early stage. And yeah, you can see it. You can see the Red Bulls are flying right now. Ryan is he's only 1 second behind, and Red Devil is just about to lose that DRS. He really can't afford it. So we're going to have an 8-car train brought back together due to the mediums just dying. Although it's only lap 10 of 29, we could maybe see pit stops around lap 11 or 12, as we've got a Red Bull in the pit lane. That'll be Ryan B. In fact, I don't think he's pit. I think he's just spun it on the last corner. As Bialowski, you know, I'm actually butchering that name, but let's go on board with Ludic. As where we are? Oh, there's a bit of ghosting going on here. Has Julian lost connection? I don't know, but ghosting on, that's gonna happen. So now the McLarens have the advantage. Around the outside goes Julian Prince. These cameras are absolutely dog shit, I will say that. And I don't like to curse on the stream, but what are these camera angles? I tell you what, the McLaren at the inside, he wasn't giving much room there, but he's going to have the inside now. And although initially the McLaren was not given too much room, he held it and he made it stick. So that's a great move. And the first to pit is Red Devil. So he's going for the undercut. 3 seconds for Ryan Bannock and Jeremy. So these penalties, these drivers can't keep it on the track, and they are getting penalised quite extensively. But right now, Red Bull 4 and 5. I mean, if they can go long and get that tyre advantage later on, watch out for them. Even with penalties, they might still have a say in this. Yeah, but this is what they need to do. They need to work smartly, as Ryan B has had enough. He's retired. Unlucky, Ryan. Just not your race today, lad. And come back strong again next week. Australia, a track that I think possibly suits you a little bit more. As Bialkowski, as he's had enough of looking at his teammates defuse it. And he's decided, do you know what? I'm going to go for it. Julian Prince surely going to be looking to box this lap, knowing that his teammate is boxed. The question is, in fact, PW Jones has come out right around Red Devil, so that undercut has worked even as early as that. That's worked really well for PW Jones, being in clean air. In fact, I think PW Jones has spun. I don't think mediums are his new tyres. I think that was what he started on. So he's had a moment somewhere. Let's stay on board with with Red Devil though, because his teammate is coming out of the pit lane now. Is Red Devil going to prove that the undercut is strong, or is the overcut the way to go? It's going to be a 1-lap undercut. And it's going to be a couple of seconds. What are we talking here? 1.5, 2 seconds maybe? There we go. Let's go on board here, because they're battling into the chicane. And it looked a tight angle from Axum there. Such a tight angle to go into that chicane there. He was really going to be struggling to make that move. There was a little bit of contact, but I don't think anyone's picked up any damage, so it is what it is. Whether they feel that way is another question. And the McLarens at the minute are in easy street. They're loving life in the fast lane here at Abu Dhabi. It's advantage McLaren, although at the minute the gap is closing between the VCabs and the McLarens, as you can tell, the fresher tyres. As Abdullah has had enough in P5. What's he doing here? He's going for the hard. So he said on the... Wait, wasn't he on the hard anyway? I'm sure he sat on the hard. Let me just have a look at that, because... No, he sat on the medium. Okay, so the graphic showed earlier on tyre. So he is in fact going medium to hard. That was obviously just a visual glitch. And it says Ryan Bannock is on the hard as well, which explains the pace difference at the beginning. Axum's had a moment. He's 3 seconds due now. McLaren's continue to swap. And the difference between Red Devil and Julian, in fact, is down to 7 temps already. So possibly Red Devil backed up a little bit just to keep his teammate in DRS. And they can work together. Let's have a look at the gap to... look at the gap to leader. So the VCabs are 17 seconds behind the leaders. What is it? I'm not sure what a traditional pit stop period is, but you'd imagine it's in the 20 plus seconds, as Axum's had enough. He's retired. I'm not sure why you'd retire from P3, but there it is. And it's all died down a little bit. Alfie doing nothing down in P10. He's had a moment. He's in the pit lane. Yeah, he's had enough. Yeah, you can just see it when people just fly into the pits. It is what it is. Abu Dhabi, not one of those tracks where you see too many safety cars. And has obviously decided to call it. Julian Prince is awfully close to his teammate. They're bringing Jeremy along with him as well, who's had a strong start to the race. And yeah, these three are going to be net P1, P2, P3 when the round of pit stops is done. We've got a spinner. Oh no, that's not. That's Alfie's AI coming out of the pits. What a W game. It's all quieting down a little bit now. You can see they're working smart now. They're not pushing it, but they're overtaking down the DRS train, DRS zones, maximising the advantage they have over the hard tyre users in the two McLarens. The question is, which of the McLarens is going to box first, because that undercut's going to be huge. Potentially bigger than the disadvantage of tyre wear. So, you know, Ludic's got the advantage because he's P1 right now. But he's not P1 for long, because his teammates just overpassed him, and he's got a backmarking microwave just ahead, but I don't think he's picked up the DRS, so it's going to be advantage back to Ludic. And he's going to send it up the inside to the hairpin, and job done for now. And you'd imagine on the next lap, as Red Devil and Jeremy are battling, just exchanging DRS and positions. Jeremy up to P5. Still got a penalty though. So, yeah, I'm not surprised Red Devil and Julian have not fought this too hard. And they are catching up to the back of Rai in the Ferrari. As Microwave's had a moment, he's in fact he's decided he's had enough. He's retired in the pit lane. So we're down to 10. And I tell you what, I think what we're going to see here, I think we're going to see a hell of a battle at the end of the race, because the strategies are really going to come into play now. Let's have a look at the gap. Gap is down to 15 seconds. Jeremy, 15 seconds away from the leader. So these McLarens are going to have a hell of a last stint if they want to take P1 and P2, because that's where they'll be fighting. Big Man Rise picked up a penalty for his troubles. As the first to pit, it's the second McLaren. Well, at least the the new McLaren, shall we say. Ryan's picked up a penalty as well. There we go, medium tyres. So Bialkowski going for the undercut, going for the fresh tyres. 12 laps, 13 laps, shall I say. It's going to be some distance, and he's going to have to really set some quality laps here. I think right now, second, third and fourth are feeling a little bit comfortable with how things are playing out. That hard tyre will be the one to be on the second stint, no doubt, especially at the end. In relation though, the McLaren of Bialkowski is only 4 seconds down the road, and he'll pick that off in no time. He could even pick it off by the next 2 laps. Question is, as Abdullah comes back, is this tyres gonna last until lap 29? That is the question. I mean, right now he's holding him up, which is good for his teammate in Ryan Bannock, because obviously they're in the same team and competing. As Ludic has decided enough's enough. Where would he come out in comparison to his teammate, though? He's going to be behind him, but it's not going to be by much. He's just coming out now, so he's going to be a couple of seconds behind. He's going to be by Ryan Bannock, actually. Ryan just a couple of seconds back. 2.5 seconds, so that undercut, 2.5 seconds. Now, will the one lap fresh it be that much that he gains it back? I'm not too sure. Let's go on board with Bialkowski, because he's battling with Abdullah and Big Man Rai. And he's going to want the DRS in the seconds part of this track. And this is allowing the leaders now to just, you know, not so much get away, but making sure the McLarens use that tyre a little bit more before they get back in the action. Welcome in, Leon. Sorry, I can't read your comments because I've got to cover the comms tonight and I cannot see the comments. I can see it on my phone, but my phone is down by my monitor. So welcome in. But for now, it's a top 3 of Jeremy, Red Devil, and Julian, closely followed by Bialkowski, who is flying at the minute on those tyres. Big Man Rai has had enough. He's probably going to retire. That tends to be what you do. Pero, it's not been his race. He had a moment on lap 1. But to be fair to him, he's stuck it out. He's open. He's open for that safety car. Yeah, we're down to 9, 6 DNFs. No safety car, no virtual. It's such a odd track, isn't it? You don't really see safety cars here at Abu Dhabi, especially, well, I mean, unless it's Abu Dhabi 2021, but online racing, there's so much runway. Julian, new race leader. DNFs, basically just people going in the pit lane and retiring. Just, I think they had an incident quite early on, and essentially just you stay in a race for so long because you're hoping for that safety car, and if anything, when you're at this stage of the race, it tends to not happen. But the thing is, we are getting closer to this train. I mean, Ludic's catching Abdullah. Abdullah's in the train with Balowski, who is ultimately catching Jeremy in P3. So this could quite easily be a train of 6. And then once they start battling, you're going to see the likes of Ryan Bannock enter the equation. So don't give it up just yet. There's still a lot of racing in this Grand Prix, albeit there's only 9 laps left. Yeah, 1.7. This is the sector where the McLarens will really have the advantage at this stage. I would say before the tyres start giving up, they need to be in the DRS. It's such a powerful tool to have around here. Probably the reason a lot of drivers prefer the medium to hard, just to get that undercut and get away, essentially. But look at the gaps now. Look at the gaps between the top 6. They're basically all in a DRS train. Red Devil was the first to pit onto the hard tyre. So his tyres will be the worst out of everyone's. I think a pole was 21.8 or 21.7 or something. You'll have to look back on the VOD. But yeah, Ryan Bannock only a couple of seconds back, 3.4 in fact. Ludic 1.4 now. It's getting tight. It is getting tight. Oh, you can see it. The Alpine driver Jeremy wants to make a move, but he just not quite far enough to be able to make it. Had a little sniff. That's a little warning shot to Julian. And Balowski is now in the DRS. So is Abdullah, and soon so will Ludic. In fact, Ludic on the mediums is the one that I'm surprised he doesn't seem to really have the pace as his teammate did. So it's taking a little bit of time. But he is slowly getting there. As Ryan has had enough, he's going to be retiring in the pit lane. We are down to 8. 7 DNFs, all in the pit lane. Drivers in the points retiring. I mean, I'll never get my head wrapped around it. I get that the race is not going your way, but listen, anything can happen. Ludic 1.7 now, just because that DRS, he's not catching at a rate where he needs to. This right now is looking like a shootout between the two V-Cabs and Balkowski. I think what needs to happen is they need to get a little bit of elbows out here just to allow him to get back in. This is going to be a tight finish. Will the McLarens hold out on those tyres? I think they're the only ones on the medium tyre. Let me just have a look at the tyre. Yeah, in fact they are. Ludic and Balkowski, only ones on the medium. Okay, Perro is as well, but he's not in the battle. PW Jones, yeah, I mean, he's not really been involved. I think he must have had an issue early on. As, in fact, now it is, in fact, a 6-car train with 7 laps to go, including the one they're on. I'm going to stay on board with Jeremy because he's the one. Oh, a little bit of elbows out. There's room got to be given. They're starting to get their elbows out here as the McLaren's coming through, is he? He's having a look. Side by side through the hairpin. Look at that medium tyre cooking on the inside there of the Alpine. Alpine's going to get the traction down on the outside. Better run. And the McLaren's probably going to be boxed in here. Oh, it's tight. Oh, there we go. Job done. Balkowski with a great move. And that all came from Jeremy being boxed in from the V-cabs. So the V-cabs being a little bit strategical. And it's working absolutely brilliantly as Abdullah down in P6. He's been passed by Ludic. And he's right there now. So watch out for this because it is McLaren against V-cab for the win. Put your bets in the comments because I have no idea who's going to win this. I think... Do you know what? I think Balkowski's going to do it. I think P3 man at the minute is going to do it. I just think... I think he possibly will be able to save enough tyre for the last lap. Up the inside goes Ludic. Room given. Good battling from both of them. And that's allowed Abdullah to get close and have a little bit of a sniff. Oh, he doesn't want to touch that curb. Yeah, that's a dodgy curve to be touching. As soon as he went on it, I was just like, oh, I don't know about that one. But he's got away with it. And the top 4, all without penalties. So it is going to be an on-track battle. It is going to be a battle. 5 more laps to go. Oh, yeah, we've got a moment. Jeremy having a moment there at turn 1. And now he's got the Red Bull all over him. He's slowly drifting. I mean, he's only 4 attempts behind. What am I talking? As Abdullah sends it. That was definitely not a clean move. Remnants to the Verstappen on Hamilton move, which was clean, by the way. I don't think Jeremy's going to be too pleased with that one. In fact, I think Jeremy is just going to be eyeing up a move. Possibly on the next straight. Great camera view. Tell you what, these V-cabs are working beautifully together as, yeah, Red Devil just covers off the McLaren at the hairpin as Ludic looking for all sorts of angles. I tell you what, this is close racing. 6 cars. Forgetting the penalties aside, any one of them can win. The hard tyres will be the better tyre in the next few laps. Sorry, the hard. The mediums on the McLarens surely won't be at their optimal or up to optimum. And it's just about how it plays out. think this is the calm before the storm. Whatever it is, the top 6 will surely be enjoying themselves right now. Although, you know, regardless of the result, I just love battling like this. It's great to see. It's great to be part of. As Ludic defends from Abdullah, that's going to give Jeremy a chance at the back of the Red Bull potentially. But we're going to stay on board with Bialkowski. Now, what's the play here? How do you get into a position where you want to be the second car? This is why I think Kowski is making a lot of noise behind behind Julian, because he wants to be in that second place before the final lap. He doesn't want to be in the front. He doesn't want to be third or fourth. Second position is the key to winning this race. And essentially, he's got a couple of laps to get there. So after a tricky start to the day, for all the problems that we've had, there's a little bit of an issue there between the two McLarens. Ludic going to the back of his teammate. Abdullah sniffs an opportunity, and they're side by side. It's Red Bull versus McLaren. Abdullah sends it. He's going to have track position on the inside. Ludic's going to have the tyre advantage for now. And there we go. Clean racing, and you love to see it. And that's allowed Jeremy to get involved. This is close. Oh my days, Matt. A little bit of a back spike as Ludic's had a moment. That's going to allow Mab around the outside. Nothing doing that time. And this is just about who's got the best tyres, who's got the best setup around Abu Dhabi for the Sector 3. Because the Sector 3 is so tricky on the throttle. Low grip. Especially if you're more focused on the front end and straight line speed. Oh, Jeremy! Such a silly warning. Such a silly warning. Oh, Mab going for a bit of a mad gap there. I'm not really sure there was any ever realistic move on. Let's just play this out how it's going to be. And it comes out a bit aggressive there, returning to the line. But, yeah, I wonder what Ludic thinks of that, because he's going to pick up a couple of points, a couple of places here. He's at the minute he's a net P4. I'm not sure he'd be too bothered. As look at that, the McLaren of Bialkowski having a look at Red Devil, who's made a mistake. Nothing doing there. Red Devil's gone deep because he was trying to cover up the McLaren. That's allowing Julian just to get away ever so slightly. We're on lap 28 of 29, and this is what it's all about. Ludic down in P6, but no penalties. Can Julian pick up his first podium? Can he pick up his first win? Red Devil, I don't think has won a race. I think he's finished second. That was it. But look at Julian. He's made some good gap here. 0.6 of a second. Is that going to be enough? I very much doubt it. And this is where it is now. This is where what it's all about. Who has got the best straight line speed? What can Julian Prince do? Can he defend it? Who has got the ERS? If I was Julian, I might think about letting my teammate through here. Oh, there's a little bit of a tap. There's a little bit of a tap between the two teammates. They're squabbling. And this is, I think it's going to play out okay. And we are. Last lap shootout between the V-Cabs. Down the inside goes Julian Prince. It's side by side. The teammates. Let's go on board with Balkowski because he's had a snap on the exit. Are the two V Cubs going to give it up? Are they going to hit each other off? That's the question. Who's going to send it? A little bit of contact at the back, nothing much. Red Devil is leading the way. Red Devil from India. What a legend. Comes into the to the Grand Prix late into the league, and he's going to pick up his first victory in off the line racing. Julian P2, Balkowski P3, and Ludic will pick up P4. Abdullah P5, Jeremy P6. A great finish there from the chaps. PW Jones will pick up 7 points. Seventh place. Of course, he won't be happy with how the race went, but I mean, still 7 points, and we move on. But yeah, it's just one of those weeks, you know, in terms of participants and DNFs. As Perro is going to be last, he's going to pick up, was it 4 points? That's his debut, and yeah, congratulations to the podium. Congratulations to the top 6 because there was some nice little battles there. It was very, very close. Obviously, some contact's going to happen. Obviously, some things are going to be said. So try and remember that, you know, respect is earned, not given. Be respectful of your competitors and you'll get respect back. But congratulations to everybody. Only 15, of course. We had, I think it was 33% of the grid that couldn't make it tonight. So the reserves have really come in clutch tonight. Red Devil will pick up P1. He won it on track, no penalties. Perro with the fastest lap, so he'll pick up an extra point. And congratulations, of course, to everybody. Ryan Bannock, P9, obviously won't get no points as he didn't complete 90% race distance. But we're gonna be getting some interviews, and yeah, just hold tight because I think speaking to the top 3 is it's gonna be interesting.
Oh,
Yo, we're gonna turn the tunes off because I'm having a great time in here. Yeah. Firstly, let me just make sure you're coming through the stream. I'm gonna jump on board with Red Devil because I know you're at work or whatever. At work.
yeah. Thanks.
Um, P1, a great quali followed by a great finish. Let me just talk to me about those last few laps because obviously, as I'm sure you're aware, being P2 on the final lap is where you want to be. Was that with 6 or 7 laps to go? Was that your thinking game? Was there any sort of strategy you were planning early on about that? Because the strategy played absolutely perfectly between hard to medium and medium to hard.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of done this race before, so I was going off of that, and yeah, I think the mediums just dry off after 5 laps. So yeah, I knew the hards was going to be better. It was good that I had my teammate uh, with me. First of all, I'd like to say I'm so sorry to him. Like I should have probably let him take the win, but yeah, I tapped him on the just before the chicane. I was trying to hold off the McLarens, but yeah, I don't know if I broke too late or what, but yeah, I think he got loose, I got loose. But yeah, it is what it is. I'll probably let him through next time. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I'm sorry to him. But yeah, overall thinking was, just to keep the 1 and 2 between us and not let one of the McLarens through. At least in the first few laps, I think. But yeah, once the second stint got longer and longer, I knew the mediums were gonna be good. So we were just playing the ERS game at that point, I think. So.
Yeah, and just a little bit about those McLarens because obviously you were. I mean, the longer the race went on and they weren't with you, the better. But as soon as as soon as they came on the scene, were you a little bit concerned because they had great pace, especially
Yeah,
when they came around you. So
Yeah, I mean, I think especially in the final sector, they seem to be really good. At least in the first stint. Second stint, I don't think they ever overtook me. I don't know, but yeah, first stint they were just mega on on the third sector under the bridge and stuff. So yeah, I was a little concerned because when the first McLaren pit, and I saw the map, he wasn't too far behind. But I think there were a lot of cars in between, so he had to, make a lot of overtakes. And by the end, I think by the time he caught up, I was just monitoring the tire wear, and uh, we had the same wear. So I knew by lap 26, ours is going to be the better tire.
yeah, and just finally, obviously, I think this is your first win. Is it your second appearance, first win?
Yeah,
Yeah. So obviously you're racing people around your base. So is there an extra good feeling there? Regarding that,
yeah,
it's a legitimate win. You're not necessarily the fastest, but
yeah.
you're vindicating the victory essentially.
Yeah, even though I got pole, I knew some of these guys will have good pace, so I wasn't like, yeah, I'm gonna pull away or anything. I tried to in the first stint. I think Banana got a little bit loose in the first corner, and I'm not sure what happened to him. It was unfortunate. I would have liked to have continued my battle with him, but he obviously was out. I tried to uh, get away, but immediately I saw my teammate was P2, so I was like, okay, maybe we could work together. So I didn't try to pull away as much, but yeah, after like lap 5, the hards were so good. Like I wasn't even trying to fight. I was like, okay, I'm gonna stay back, conserve my ERS as much as I can, and when I pit, I'm gonna try and pull that gap. And then again in the second stint when everybody caught up, it was great. So yeah, gra- glad that there's so many guys in the same pace. It was an even fight. Anybody could have won. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
GG's to everyone.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well done. I'm just glad that we managed to get a stream because I tell you what, for the last night, I mean, there was one point where I was thinking about chucking me wheel through my monitor at one point. So yeah, so at least you got the win and it was on stream. But congratulations! Next week Australia. So hopefully we get to see you there as well.
Yep, well, looking forward.
Okay,
GG's to
nice
everyone.
one. Well done. All right, moving on. Let's go to P3. Luke, I'm afraid I butchered your second name several times. Um, well done, brand new driver to the league. Obviously, this was your first race. An interesting strategy. Not many at the front did it. Um, at the end, there a few little scrapes with a few drivers, but overall, how would you reflect on that race?
Well, at first I want to congratulate everyone for their results. Also, I want to apologize for my English, but I haven't spoken in a while, so I might be a bit rusty. So don't laugh at me. And
It's all good.
coming, yeah, okay. And coming to sum up the race, I think it was pretty good. With the strategy, it was a mistake. I was waiting to see what type of tire other people would put on, and when I saw like most of the grid put on mediums, I tried to put them on, but I was too late and started on hards. To be fair, I wasn't so confident that I would keep the P3. On the first lap in the first corner, I got overtaken, but then after some battles between other people, I was holding the P3, and I was just trying to hold onto it and try to go as long as I could on mediums, so I could then catch up to everyone. But since I put on the mediums, the pace went down the hill. I wasn't very happy with the grip that they provided. They were fast, but I couldn't use it to my advantage. So basically, I made a lot of mistakes, especially on the last lap where I choked the chicane after the longest straight, and that pretty much killed my momentum to try to attack for P2 or even P1. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the P3. Also, I'm very happy that I joined the league because I see many people are very fast, and the racing is very good here. Uh, so I think I want to stay there and try to do my best.
Yeah, that's always nice to hear because that's exactly, I think every league sets out to be clean, fast, but ultimately sometimes you don't get it. But I think yeah, I mean there was a couple of incidents with I think it was Abdullah, maybe lap 26 or something. There was a slight coming together at chicane, perhaps. But overall, I thought you drove really well. I think you and your teammate early on is it. Actually, I want to speak to you about your teammate because it was clear that there was no team sort of play. Is that? Do you think maybe cost you the win early on?
No, to be fair, in one point, like since the lap 10, when the RBs went into the pits, I tried to work with him, and it was like we needed to understand each other. I never raced with him, but also great job for him. So first I was like trying to hold on in the front, then I let him through from my mistake, and then I tried to understand his driving so I can work with him to just get the most of the time that we could get and not fight so uh, ra- irrationally. I think I pronounced it right. But overall, I thought like for the half of the first stint with him, and then I tried to understand him, and I think at one point we understood each other and started to work together and giving each other DRS.
Yeah, maybe that's something that can improve over the season. But congratulations on your podium for your first race. That's a good achievement. Hopefully, attendance is back up and booming next week because I'm sure, as you've seen, we had a lot of people not race. So um, to even get 15, I think is pretty okay. Yeah, but hopefully we see you at Australia next week, and I think I love Australia. I think it's so fun. So yeah, congratulations, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you very much. Have a great night.
Yep, you too. Moving on, Julian Prince, new finally a podium. Round what round are we on? Round 4. It's been coming, hasn't it? It's definitely a little bit of well earned, shall we say?
Yeah, finally. The last few races weren't that good. Got unlucky sometimes with 10-second penalties last time around in Mexico. But finally, with a great teamwork, first podium.
Yeah, absolutely. Just want to speak to you. Like, obviously, Red Devils touched upon it. He's there was a little contact at the last lap. Is that the difference you feel like between finishing P1 and P2, or is it just a case of it is what it is and you move on to the next one? Because you definitely had the pace. Essentially, in the last stint, I thought you were one of the quicker drivers. In fact,
Yeah, I think without the tap I would have won, but it is what it is. I don't really care. To be fair, we got a 1-2, and hopefully Australia's going to be good again.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking about the strategy, is that I mean, is that a strategy that you've used before? Is that you just fancied the undercut because I mean the undercut here was super strong.
Yeah, I practiced a bit, tested which one is better, and then I thought medium hard was going to be the call.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then with my teammate who did the same, we could work together, and yeah.
yeah. Well, an excellent job. Like I say, a 1-2 for the team. Maybe a 1-2 not many people would have predicted before the start, but yeah, a great drive from you as a driver and both of you as a team. Congratulations to our podium. I think all three of you. To keep it clean around here, especially with some of the warnings that you can pick up. I think you've all done a great job. That'll be it for this week. Australia next week. Looking forward to that. Hopefully, well, I won't be here. Corey will be back. Thank God. Yeah, so we'll be back for Australia. Our next race is on Tuesday at 7 p.m. and that is the console crossplay at Australia. Thanks very much, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget that we are still having sign-ups throughout the season, and we are looking to start an American sector on Saturdays. That's 7 p.m. Eastern for all of you North Americans. Until then, though, have a great day.